fell on one of the woodworking forums that I frequent. Was having some trouble turning a new knob for his hand plane. I guess this is the tote. I guess that's just the front knob. I can't remember what the official name of that might be. Totes come in quite a few different shapes. This is an older plane. That's one shape. This is slightly different shape. It's a newer plane. Although you couldn't tell by and this is a completely different shape. This is more like a mushroom flat top, and instead of I think this is more the shape he was trying to turn. So I'm going to try something like that. Okay, now he had a glow up. The problem, no, I went and cut that the wrong way. Duh. Yes, he had glued up a lamination of ash and jarrah. So he was actually, rather than having the wood mounted spindle fashion so that the grain is running parallel to the lathe bed, it was mounted this way, face grain fashion. So basically as he's doing the cut, he's coming up against the end grain, face grain, end grain, face grain, or side grain, whatever you want to call it. But it's basically like so if you had that piece of wood on your bench and you planed along the face and then turned it and planed across the end, well, you're going to get a lot of breakout here, and then planing there you're fine, but then you come across and plane the other end, you're going to get a lot of breakout there. And that's the problem he was having, was he was getting a fair bit of chip out. So I'm going to have to cut a piece of wood that's the other way. So this is another piece of wood I put in. It's oriented the face grain. I roughed it down with the same 3/4 inch roughing gouge. When I was using the gouge straight on, so I was using the curved section right at the bottom, the cut it wasn't bad. I was getting chip out on one side, but not on the other. Then I tried to pass where I swung the gouge around and used the straight side wing, oriented pretty much like a skew chisel would be. And that's the finish I've got on there right now. I have got chip out there and there, so I actually got a worse finish doing that than I did when I was using the bottom curve. So now I've got my 1/2 inch spindle gouge. Mine is ground with the wings well back, 45-degree bevel, and I hone the cutting edge on the on my MDF wheel with honing compound. So we'll see what that does. I've got the lathe running at 2500 RPM for these cuts. Okay, so that is giving me a very nice finish off the tool. I'm keeping the bevel rubbing and using this part of the edge just below the nose, giving me a shearing cut. Depending on how flat you want the top, I'm going for a mushroom knob rather than a olive on a toothpick knob. So it'll be a flat oval shape up here on the stem. So I'll start excavating below the knob. I'm going to shift the tool rest down so I can get my finger behind it. The post is in the way for me there. Actually, I'll clean this off. I've still got some of that chip out from when I roughed it down. And again, the cut is happening just to the left of the nose now, when I'm cutting in this direction. And that's giving me a real nice surface. That's the bevel rubbing right below where the cut is happening. So the bevel is supporting the cutting edge, keeping it from diving in. Okay, and that's given me a real nice cut. So that's starting. If you want a sharp edge to your cove, you start with the bevel lined up for the direction you're going to cut and the gouge rolled over, so that you're again cutting just below the nose of the gouge.